Welcome to another day of Smokin' with Joe, where we show you how to smoke food the Bradley way. Yeah, these are peaches, and we're going to smoke them. If you've never had smoked peach cobbler, you don't know what you're missing. Having the peaches is simple. All you do is pull the little stem out, get a fairly wide knife, you sort of place it into the groove on the side of the peach, and then push it into the pit and rotate the peach all the way around. You get a nice flat cut, and usually one side just twists off, and then you'll find the pit in the other side. Just pull it out with your fingers, and you're done. So all I have to do now is the rest of them. So as you can see, I'm putting 3 racks, and there's 4 halves on each rack. And the reason for that is so that I can get different smoke times. I'm going to smoke this one for half an hour, then take it out. This one will be smoking for an hour. I'll take it out after that. And this one will smoke for the full 1.5 hours. And the reason for that is if you've never had smoked cobbler before, you want to know how much smoke you like on your peaches. I mean, people have varying taste, and some may like it stronger, some may like it weaker, or just a faint hint of smoke. So there will be no heat in here other than the heat of the biscuit, and that's it. I'm just going to set it up and smoke my peaches. So our peaches are in the smoker, and now it's time to make the cobbler. The cobbler is pretty simple, and there's no flour in it, which is kind of cool. The ingredients include a little bit of vanilla. We have 2 eggs. We have a cup of coconut. We have a cup of oat flour. We have another 2/3 of a cup of almond flour, a little bit of baking soda, and a little bit of baking powder. And we've also got some butter and honey that we've heated up in a pan. So I'll start by simply adding the coconut. I'm going to add the oatmeal, add the almond flour. We'll use just a tiny little bit of baking soda, and we have a teaspoon of baking powder. So those are our dry ingredients. Just mix them all up, make sure they're all kind of together here before I add anything wet. It's good to take a couple of minutes just to get this done right. Get all that mixed in there. And now I'm going to add the butter honey mix. Last but not least, I almost forgot the vanilla. To some people, I think that's the most important part. And you wind up with a nice doughy cobbler mix. And by the way, this makes fantastic cookies. Well, the peaches turned out great. We're starting with the half-hour peach. It looks fairly normal still because it wasn't in that long. And a tablespoon of the cobbler dough, sprinkle it with some brown sugar, and then move on to the 1-hour peaches. A little shade darker, as you can see, and same thing, about a tablespoon of cobbler dough, add a little bit of brown sugar, and move on to the 1.5-hour peaches. These are the darkest, noticeably. And same thing again. I'm going to try and use up the rest of the cobbler dough, so I'm putting a little bit more in these ones, and then sprinkle with brown sugar. Okay, now back into the smoker they go. We are going to bake them at 320 degrees for between 1 hour and 15 and 1.5 hours, depending on how long it takes to cook the cobbler. We're not going to smoke it all this time. They're simply going to bake. This is what the peach cobbler looks like right out of the smoker. As you can see, it's a lot browner than it was even after it was smoked, but that doesn't matter. It's going to taste great anyways. I'm just going to kind of crunch the cobbler into the peach, and then of course I'm going to add ice cream. So as you can see, the peach is still looking nice and yellow on the inside. It's nice and warm. A little piece of cobbler on there, a little bit of ice cream, and yeah, baby, that's spectacular. Sweet, kind of tangy, a little smoky, a little texture with the cobbler, and the ice cream kind of just fuses it all together. Hot, cold. Well, this was the peach that was smoked for an hour and a half. I definitely taste the smoke. It's not overwhelming. It's actually a nice flavor. So I imagine that if you wanted to lay off the smoke a little bit, the 1 hour or the half hour would be probably perfect for you, but this is delicious. You have to try it.